So it's not. Right on time?
Every time.
Every time?
Well, you get to change character every time you play.
I guess. Are we on our save file?
Yeah. I loaded our save file.
Well, there you go. I guess you do. Cool.
Okay.
Right, we'll
did we do this?
We did that
we
one.
Did that?
I
Okay.
did not love that level.
We don't have enough for these. It needs 5 and we've got 9.
Okay. So yeah, the SAG strike.
The Film Actors Guild.
Yeah.
That's what Gary always
That's what Gary
says.
calls it. Yes, I know. I know.
It's funny.
It's hilarious.
I mean, that's what it should be called.
And I
but
really can't believe that YouTube hasn't picked up on that and gone, wait a minute.
Well, he doesn't actually say.
No,
anything.
he doesn't.
He just.
I love it. So yeah, the Film Actors Guild has stricken. Or is it done now? Are they
Yeah,
done?
it's done. Yeah, they've been on strike
Did
for
anybody
6
care when they
months or
stopped
whatever.
striking?
I heard somebody mention it once.
So what I was, you have to have that little diamond tile on where you are. Probably we didn't unlock it. We probably
Some
didn't
kind of
unlock
secret
it.
exit that we didn't take or something.
So Petal Isles is like a hub world. Because now we're going to World 2, but we played levels in Petal Isles.
Okay.
So this is World 2. Weird. Okay.
Well, anyway, strike. It happened. There was a strike.
Yeah. So So what I was saying before we started the stream was that I mean, obviously there's not a future for Hollywood long term, but I don't think that anybody cares anymore. And I'm trying to think of the older generations, like me, my dad. My dad watches streaming. He doesn't care about Hollywood. He doesn't care about movies.
Right.
Who goes to the movies every weekend like you used to? You know how people used to go to the movies every time something decent was out.
Yeah.
People don't do that anymore.
No, you're right. So I do think that streaming is going to
Die.
be encountering some problems due to the fact that it's not a viable business model. And you're already seeing the start of it with Netflix offering their ad-supported tier and raising prices on the regular tiers, and then Disney Plus is doing an ad-supported tier now. Hulu has been doing an ad-supported tier forever. I mean, it's basically you gotta there is no non-ad. You know, when Hulu first came, I don't know if you remember when Hulu first came out.
When Hulu first came out, I had Hulu when it first came out. It was just ad supported.
It was free. It was ad supported, and then they ended up bringing out a premium option that was not ad supported that you could pay for. And then eventually they got rid of the free one, and they were like, you got to pay.
There's a paid ad supported one.
You have to pay for ad supported, and there is no free.
Right. And you can pay extra for premium that is not ad supported, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's significantly more. I think it's like $6 something like that for the premium, for the ad supported basic Hulu.
But let's this is where I've always stood on this. If there's a service, let's say Hulu is your service and it has all your favorite stuff on it.
Well,
$6 a month
sucks.
Compared to the cost of like Dish Network or cable, $6 a month is like a pittance, right? It's nothing.
Well, when Hulu was first envisioned, what it was, I think it was owned by. It was like a joint partnership between like Viacom and ABC or something. And the theory behind Hulu initially was it was like essentially like a streaming alternative to over-the-air TV.
Right.
So it wasn't like a cable service. It wasn't like an exclusive premium thing. It was like you were getting to watch stuff that was on broadcast TV.
Right.
But without an antenna.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if it's really expanded beyond that. Isn't it still pretty much broadcast TV stuff that's on there?
No, I think there's better stuff on there.
I mean,
now.
I know they get, like, anime and stuff, which obviously that's a licensed deal that's...
They have sports, which is what a lot of people get it for.
Oh, is that so?
And they have...
they got foosball and such.
Yeah, and they have... I think they have more exclusive channels or more premium channels than just what you would get.
We said 3 deaths, right?
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
So let me go crush this level real quick. And then I'm kidding. What is that flower? With the bubble? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
anyway,
I think it has more, and of course, Hulu has originals now, like Netflix.
Really, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's very weird. I don't know what to make of that.
Oh fuck.
That sounds kind of strange to me that they would have originals.
Hulu is just a Netflix competitor at this point, I believe.
But it's still owned by that same group of TV stations.
I mean, it's bundled together with Disney Plus now.
Yeah, Disney owns a controlling stake in Hulu. Because, it's because when they bought Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hulu was originally like a deal between like Fox, Viacom, and ABC. They grouped together to create a streaming service that was Hulu. Right. And then when Disney bought Fox... They bought I think they bought them the biggest stake in Hulu because I think Fox was the main one behind Hulu.
Right.
But I think we're basically looking at a situation where eventually I think all of the streaming services are going to start requiring ad-supported tiers.
Yeah.
They're going to require ads. They're going to get rid of paid no ad tiers.
I think one of the biggest problems from the beginning has been the low barrier to entry. Mm-hmm. $10. What did Netflix start at? $6, I think, for 7. Hulu started at like free, and then $6 for premium. Like,
yeah,
the low barrier to entry really devalued these things in the eyes. I mean, in my opinion, it was just like a cheap alternative to cable or whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, back in the day, people were paying... Well, I mean, you still see it from time to time now, but hardly anybody's got cable. But people were paying, $250 a month for cable.
Yeah. And then you could get rid of that and get $6 Netflix and free Hulu.
Yeah.
Then you don't. Yeah. Well, anyway, the low barrier to entry kind of devalued it from the beginning, and now you look at these things. It's kind of like buying a 99-cent from the App Store. Mm-hmm. You know, there's so many free apps out there. Paying 99 cents for an app is like, what? Why would I do that? You know?
Right.
But it's 99 cents at the end of the day. Like,
so there's many an app that I have on my phone that I have ads on, and I'm like, this is annoying, and I don't like the ads. But the thought of paying the $1,
yeah. And so that's
just untenable.
Right, and it's that mindset, I think, that has bled over into these streaming services now. Like, they could realistically charge $30 a month for what they do if they were offering a quality service and that people wanted. They could, like the Disney bundle with Hulu and Netflix and ESPN.
Yeah.
Is probably worth $35-40, maybe more to people who like all that stuff.
Right.
But you get it for $11 a month, and it's like that's part of the problem. Now, if they went from 11 to 40, people would mass exodus. But if they had started charging 40 in the beginning,
well, for Netflix, the economics are different. They were different. The economics were different for Netflix back when they came out originally, because Netflix wasn't making original content originally. They were basically buying cheap rerun syndication rights, and it was super cheap for them to do it, so it made sense for them to charge a low price for their service, because it was costing them very little to license this stuff.
Remember watching a movie on Netflix back in the day. It was some B movie, bullshit that you found, or if they happened to grab a decent movie, there might have been one, but there was a bunch of B movie bullshit on Netflix back in the day.
Yeah. And even for like TV, like the TV syndication rights that they were getting were really cheap. They were cheap deals,
which is extremely.
No, they were cheap deals because nobody like really conceived of streaming as a thing. They were getting dirt cheap deals. Mm-hmm. It was just like they were getting the kind of deals that like your local like your local like channel 100 was getting, to syndicate some TV show from ABC or whatever.
Right.
And so for them, the economics of offering $10 a month for to get access to that service made sense. But for if you're making original content, the cost to actually make the stuff is so much more than the licensing to license the stuff that's already been made.
Right.
It just totally changed the economics of the situation.
I think whoever's idea it was to start making original content for Netflix sunk the company.
Well, that seems like it wasn't a good idea.
Do you think that they have even close to recoup their costs?
Here's the thing. I think that they would have gone out of business already if they hadn't done original content.
How so?
Because
the cheap syndication deals versus
Jeremy, the cheap syndication deals don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Because all of the companies they were getting those cheap syndication deals from have their own streaming services now.
Yeah.
And Netflix, I think, rightly saw that they would have to have original content, or else they would find themselves in a situation where they couldn't get this cheap syndication rights anymore once other competitors picked up on the money to be made there, Mm-hmm. So I think they made the right calculation.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I think the way that they have handled their pricing model since then has been a real problem for them, because they don't charge enough. Was that 3?
I have no idea.
Can I do one more?
Sure.
Look, I'm trying to get the normal ending of this level. Okay, that's what I'm after.
You think you're having trouble because this is the ice level?
Yeah, all of my jumps and stuff
physics that you're struggling?
All my jumps are misjudged. Like I'm not hitting anything that I expect to hit.
Yeah.
The ice physics are definitely screwing with me. But anyway, yeah. So
they would have been out of business by now.
I think they would have
original content
because I think that the original content created a draw for them specifically that, you know, at least even if their original content has really fallen off, which it has, there was some early original stuff from Netflix that was like really excellent.
House of Cards, Stranger Things.
Yes. Well, no, Stranger Things wasn't early. The House of Cards is one of the big ones. There was some other ones. Can you not?
I guess. I mean, I don't know what the reason for destroying those ice blocks were if you can't get there, but again. Maybe you have to do this twice or something? I don't know.
Oh.
Nice. No, I feel like this is the end of it.
This is way too easy with the wall jumps.
Yeah.
You know, back in old Mario games, you would have done this maneuver here, and you would have fallen down there.
Right. I bought that standee there. You know,
oh yeah.
With purple coins.
Yeah, I haven't been using the spin move.
That new pose is what I mean.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Does this spin move do damage?
I mean, that's just like your Mario World spin.
Well, the Mario World spin does damage. Does this one? It's cool. Don't worry about it, bro. I've got this. Look, I'm sure one of these is a... Yeah, there we go. Man, you know what I love? Ice levels. They're my favorite. Ice physics, so fun. Well, Jeremy, you know, I guess the point I'm getting at here is that I think there is a real possibility of streaming services actually going bankrupt.
Yeah.
Like en masse.
Do you think Disney as a whole will go bankrupt?
That seems more like a possibility now than it ever has in the past. Well, actually, no. I think Disney was close to bankruptcy in the early '90s.
Oh yeah.
I think they were on the rocks. In the early '90s, and that was when the whole Disney Renaissance happened, where they did all like the Lion King and the Lion King and like Aladdin and, you know, the Little Mermaid. What?
I'm confused at why this is a thing, why this is a level. I'm gonna go back to it, but what is? Oh well, I guess all the break times are just completely baby mode easy.
Yeah.
Like
That's not even a level. It doesn't even count.
I know, but it's like what? All I had to do was kill this guy, and then I win.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Disney Renaissance back in the '90s, but more likely today that they could go bankrupt. I
mean, they're losing money like hand over fist
on everything they do.
Yeah.
On
their
every
streaming business is completely insolvent. Every movie they release, they lose money on.
Yeah. Like, it's not sustainable long term. They can't just keep bleeding money like crazy. And
I have heard, but I don't know for sure about this, because it's kind of the sources that I've heard it from are not totally. I'm not sure what to make of it. But I've heard mixed information about their parks. I've heard that the parks are doing badly. I've heard the parks are doing okay. I'm not sure what is true here. I know that during COVID and post, like, immediately post COVID, I think the parks were doing really bad.
Yeah.
Obviously. But at this point, I would expect them to be back to normal.
Well, how is Universal doing?
I have no idea. I really don't know. Here, the thing is, though, I think that even if Disney is doing okay with the parks, I don't think the parks are actually make them that much money anyway. I think that the parks bring in a lot of revenue, but they're extremely expensive.
Right.
To operate. So I don't know that there's actually that much profit. When you look at when you look at Disney's balance sheet, where does most of their money come from? I would assume most of their profit probably comes from movies and merchandise.
Right.
And I mean, the movies are losing money hand over fist, so I don't think that there's a lot of money coming in from movies right now.
Right.
And merchandise? Do people buy merchandise for movies they're not watching? I mean, I feel like that would be
right.
I feel like that merchandise would just naturally be suffering from the same problem, which is that nobody's watching the movies, so they're not buying merch for those movies.
Right.
I mean, if you're not taking your kids to see the new whatever the fuck piece of shit Pixar movie that came out, are you gonna buy them toys for that Pixar movie? I mean, it doesn't seem very likely.
Right. What are you supposed to be doing?
Snow activities. You're using the snow platforms to platform to places that you couldn't.
Is this the Wonder Seed? Is this seed or a different seed? I guess this is this seed, but I
think it might be.
Huh. Okay. Well, that seems really easy, and like the Wonder Flower didn't have anything to do with it, but okay.
Well, it made you some little snow platforms that weren't there before. But I think you could have just wall jumped your way through the whole thing. Oh no, Jeremy, you're gonna lose your chance. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think that Disney could go bankrupt. I think that's a possibility.
You know, back before it was a bunch of woke garbage, I would have been sad about that, but I'm kind of happy to hear that.
You know, I think
it makes me smile inside.
Here's what I think is most likely to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
government will bail them out.
No, I don't think that. No, that's not gonna happen. I don't think that
They're
Disney.
too big to fail.
I don't think Disney will go bankrupt. I think that they will do this big divestment of their assets. I think they'll sell off. Well, maybe they could.
Star Wars.
The thing is, they own so many extremely expensive things that are not making them any money right now. Like the rights to. Am I missing something here? Why am I not?
You got it right. Just wall jump over the other
No,
side.
I can't do it, Jeremy. It's too far.
You can't. No, do the straight jump.
This. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Like that.
No, it's hard with this wall jump, Jeremy, because it's got that first jump that's not a wall jump.
Yeah, that's just to get you the little extra height, and then. This is getting over it with Bennett Foddy.
Anyway, I think that they could potentially. Oh, see, I need the wall jump for that one, for sure. Oh, damn it! It really is, isn't it? Shit.
Scott, how many times you end up at the start again? Anyway.
I could see a situation where Disney needs to get rid of Marvel, needs to get rid of Star Wars.
Yeah. And go back to being fucking Disney.
Well, I could definitely see Disney getting rid of Fox.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that the Fox acquisition, I think, was the most asinine out of all the ones that they've done.
Well, they have The Simpsons now.
Oh, well, that's a good point, Jeremy. You make a solid point here. But no, I think that Fox was the worst one that they did, because what did they get by buying Fox? They got
Simpsons.
No, what they got was X-Men.
Yeah.
They literally what they got.
They
got X-Men. They haven't made an X-Men movie. Now they're doing a Deadpool movie, and it's gonna suck because of course it's gonna be
Disney.
No,
that
was like one of the last. Hold on.
You got this.
That was one of the last Fox releases, I believe. Well, what the hell?
It doesn't. If you do come off of a wall kick, you don't get it.
But what they ended up doing whenever they bought Fox is they created this situation where they own a lot of intellectual property, and they spent a lot of money on that intellectual property. But part of the agreement that they had when they bought Fox set a limit on how many movies they were allowed to make, which means that Disney and Fox combined output cannot be even close to what Disney and Fox were when they were separate entities. It's the limit is extreme.
Oh wow.
So you basically have a very expensive studio that you bought just for the IP, but you can't make more movies than you were already making. They basically bought Fox.
Deal? What deal? Who have they made the deal with that they?
The Federal Trade Commission.
Oh, so this is like a monopoly type?
Yes.
Thing? Oh. Wait, a monopoly on Marvel IPs?
No, on making movies.
Oh, in general.
One company cannot make over a certain percentage of the movies that exist per year.
Ah, okay.
So Disney, as a company,
to start divesting them.
is limited by how many movies they can make. So when they bought Fox, the limit of movies they could make did not go up.
Yeah.
They can still only make the same amount of number of movies that they were making originally, except now they own this extremely, extremely expensive studio.
Right.
That's basically they only own it for the IP.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they're getting out of the deal. So yeah, that's going to be one that I suspect will be divested.
Caleb, are you glad you chose the Kaizo Mario levels?
Yeah. Well, I figured this was just going to be one of those baby situations, right?
Yeah.
It's a little tricky. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. There's a little bit there's a trick to it. I haven't quite figured it out yet. But I'm working on it, okay? See, now that's...
You have to be on this side.
That's a little... Listen, you fucking son of a bitch, Flower. Fuck you.
He's just trying to help, bro.
Okay. Okay, we're good. We're totally good. Listen, this is easy.
No, wrong side.
It's all about getting over it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So they can't. They could make an X-Men movie, and just not make a fucking woke Snow White bullshit movie, right?
Yeah. But
they can make an X-Men movie.
It's not about making X-Men movies, Jeremy. It's about making. Fox made tons of movies that they're not only the only movies that exist are not superhero movies. Okay. Fox was a studio that made tons of movies that were not superhero movies.
What you just said, what did they get out of that? We got the X-Men.
Yeah, essentially, yes. They got the X-Men. That's what Disney got out of the deal.
Right.
But what Fox was a studio that was making all kinds of different movies.
Right.
And Disney is not benefiting from that aspect of the purchase.
Right.
Because they can't make more movies. They're not allowed.
Right.
See how amazingly I executed this? Because the game was telling me I should wall jump. Because that's how you would do that, but I didn't. So, there you go. But anyway, yeah. So when a normal company, let's say Sony Pictures wanted to buy Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they bought Fox, what they would be getting is the intellectual property and all of the studio space, staff,
right,
and the production capability to make all of these movies that Fox was making before.
All right.
But what Disney got was intellectual property and nothing else.
Right.
And so they've got to get rid of Fox. Like that's the most likely, I think, is for them to divest the Fox company.
Mm-hmm.
And that would free up some money because somebody's going to want to buy Fox if they split it back off.
Right.
And they'd probably work some kind of deal where they keep the Marvel IP from Fox, but that's it. Yeah. They could sell everything else that Fox owns plus all of the infrastructure. Because I assume they own all the infrastructure. They just can't use it for anything because they can't make more movies.
Right.
And they would potentially sell off. It's possible they could sell off Marvel as a package deal. Like now they've collected all the IP except Spider-Man.
Yeah. They
could maybe do a package deal, spin Marvel off into its own company.
Yeah.
It may not even be a sale. It might just be getting it off of Disney's balance book.
Right.
Because the issue, I mean, it used to be a money printing machine, but now, I mean, shit. Even Marvel movies don't make any money. So
right.
Like.
Well, because they've turned them into garbage.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna disagree with you there.
I mean, that Marvel movies probably would keep making money if they were good movies.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the trick to making movies.
I mean, they made 22 good movies, and then everything went to the shitter after.
Well, I mean, they made 22...
They made 22
They made 22 passable movies.
Okay,
they made
fine.
probably 7 or 8, like, great movies. Yeah. And, you know, probably, like, 5 or 6 good movies, and then, you know, a few stinkers.
Yeah.
I mean, Thor 2... Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3.
I know where you're going. I'm just saying they made some movies. They made nothing compares.
They weren't complete shit shows.
Yeah,
okay?
nothing that compares to what today's Marvel is.
Right. Yeah. I don't even know what they're doing these days. Like I don't even understand. Like what are they doing? What's the plan? I don't get it.
I'm missing 2 coins. Where the hell are they?
Well, they're you know, did you climb up that vine and find what's up there?
I got that one already.
Did you climb down the vine to see what was down there? Have you tried to fall into that hole?
I haven't gone into the hole yet. Oh.
You fell in the pit.
Okay, so that's the last one, I'm assuming. So,
uh-huh.
Where does this take me? Is this the end of the level? No,
nope.
It just takes me here. Okay. This pipe moves. I'm thinking that there's a reason.
You would think so. Try, I wonder if that patch of damaged ground is indicating something.
I've tried, like, going in the pipe there, or...
Here's what I would do. I would probably spin Lucasfilm off into its own company and sell that off to somebody.
To George Lucas.
You know, if Lucas wasn't like so decrepit now, and he might be interested in buying it back, to be honest with you. But I don't know if you've seen George Lucas lately, but he's been seen in some in-person, you know, things recently. That dude's deteriorating fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he sick?
I don't know. I think age is just. Well, I don't know. It seems like age is hitting him really hard.
Is he that old?
He might have dementia or something.
How old is George Lucas?
I mean, he was making Star Wars in 1979, so.
Right. So, I mean, he was in his 20s though, then, wasn't he?
Maybe. I'm not sure. That Star Wars was like his.
I feel like he's like my dad's age.
Star Wars is like his third movie, I think.
Oh.
He made American Graffiti. I think that's his first movie.
Yeah.
And then he made THX 1130 THX. THX, the sound system.
Yeah,
he made that movie.
Right.
It's a movie about sound systems. It's got really good audio. No, it's not a movie about sound systems, but it is where the name for THX comes from.
Is it?
Yep. It's a movie about robots.
I kind of want to give up on this level.
Well, it's just you just haven't cracked the code here. There's a code, you haven't cracked it.
Are there hints here?
So there's a thing that has the little seed on it.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
That flower is saying hi.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's saying like you need to get
go high.
Okay. Have you tried going high?
Yes, I've tried going high.
Have you tried going low?
I've gone as low as I can go. Dude, it's got to have something to do with that moving pipe.
It really does have to have something to do with that moving pipe. Is that the only pipe that moves?
Yes. I'm just looking for clues when I move the pipe. There's the dust cloud moves differently.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, look, that makes sense.
I love hidden blocks as an answer.
It's a good puzzle because it's like you really put your brain power to
Right.
it and you solved it. You know?
Yeah.
You thought about it really hard and you're like, oh, I see.
Yeah.
The hidden block that I can't see.
Right. Well, it did have something to do with the pipe, kind of, but not really. I didn't need the pipe for that.
Oh wait, we came from here.
Did we
so
go in that mushroom
else
house? Did you buy something in the mushroom house, or
I do not recall.
what is that? Fluff puff.
Oh, I
cabins?
did go in there. He gave me a seed
Oh,
for free. Yeah, he's just telling me about Bowser.
gotcha.
Bowser Jr. Junior.
Junior.
Oh man, I love that movie. I gotta watch that movie again. It's been a while.
That's the only Indiana Jones movie the kids have seen.
Oh, you haven't shown them Raiders?
No, it's too violent, man.
Is it? I
It's
mean,
ridiculous.
you know, they got the face melt thing.
Oh, the whole movie. Like, you go back and watch it. It's not.
It's been a long time since
It's
I've seen
PG,
Raiders.
but it is not age appropriate. Like, maybe true it, maybe, but I wouldn't show it to Kyrie, no.
I thought the kids aren't phased by anything though. I thought they were
I'm
just
still gonna
unfazed.
be like discerning about what I show them. We watched The Last Samurai. That movie's rated R.
Uh-huh.
But The Raiders is gonna be too violent for them.
Well,
The thing about The Last Samurai is I don't know why it's rated R.
because there's like a beheading at one point.
Yeah, but
That's
it's like
probably
but
it,
it's
man.
from a distance and you can barely tell what's going on.
Look, I think there are some things that the ratings board, if it's in there, they will just give you an R rating.
That's
I think
insane.
I think that there are certain things that just get you an R rating, no matter what.
Yeah, I was like, hey, we need to watch this movie, and I thought it's rated R. Maybe there's things I don't remember. So I told them, I said, hey, if it gets too graphic, we'll turn it off. And we watched the whole movie, and there was no problem.
Yeah.
There's blood spatter as people are slicing each other with swords and whatnot, but it's not graphic.
Yeah.
There's no disembowelments,
Right. It's probably, if you look at the rating, it probably says like swords.
Right. You like them.
There'll be swords. You like them, honest. Also, it's rated R because of that.
Yeah, I need to watch Raiders again. It's been about 2 years since I've watched it last.
What did I do wrong here?
You didn't jump off.
But I
the
did
thing.
jump. I hit the jump button.
it's been about 2 years since I watched it, because I watched it with the intention of, watching it with the kids. And I was like, nah.
No retries.
After watching it, I thought, nah, not yet.
Yeah.
But that's been a couple of years ago, so maybe I should go back and watch it again. See.
I mean, there's this Pit of Snakes.
Yeah.
I remember that. He goes to the thing.
I mean, the guy, the very first scene of the movie is him with that one guy, and they're going through
that one guy.
And
then they gotta get the thing,
idol.
and they gotta throw the weight on it, and it doesn't work.
Anyway, that guy ends up like with an arrow through his head, like.
Yeah, but that's like, look, that would happen. Okay.
Yeah, it would happen, but it's still disgusting.
Listen. If it's something that would happen in real life, it's not violence.
Hey, I gotta say, like, the practical gore of the 80s is unsettling even to me today.
Yeah?
Practical gore from the 80s, for some reason, is unsettling to me.
Oh, because it looked good. It looked good, man. It looked legit.
Yep.
It's so funny. It doesn't look real, but it looks good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird thing where it's like hyper real.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It doesn't look real, but it has like a look to it that is. It's like an exaggerated version of real.
Right.
And
I think you killed your ticket up. Oh no, never mind. You have the wall kick.
And it looks. Oh, this is neat.
Nice.
I feel like I'm playing Hotline Miami. That's not a twin stick shooter though. I can't shoot anybody. So high right now. Little coins are flying away.
Yeah.
Come on, destroy this one, dude. Thank you. Yeah, the thing is that a lot of the gore these days is CG'd, and it just doesn't look realistic. It doesn't look believable.
Did you go to the Marvel?
Ah, damn it.
Did you go to the Universal Horror makeup show?
Yeah.
With us? I couldn't remember if you were a part of it or not.
Absolutely.
I know mom wanted to go, and
we were like,
yeah, but then it was cool.
It was cool, yeah.
But
it was a comedy show.
It reminded me of, not reminded me, it is what that is, That's the practical effects of blood and guts.
It's like the thing that I think that makes it unsettling is the fact that it's like it's like it's a little uncanny, it the way that like animatronic rigs and stuff that they had for some guy you know what I'm saying, like zombie guy or guy on the the practical makeup effects and stuff, it all looks very like grounded, like it's there, like it's actually like there, like it's actually something that's there, whereas like most CG'd stuff doesn't look. Look, I don't want to be one of these CG guys, right? These anti-CG guys. Look, I think CG is great when used appropriately, when used responsibly, right? You got to use CG responsibly. But it has definitely become a thing where CG is being used in places it shouldn't be used.
Right.
And it's there's this movie, Jeremy, that came out in like 2009 or something. It's called Ninja Assassin, okay? And in Ninja Assassin, it's like supposed to be this, action like ninja assassin movie, right? Makes sense, right? Reasonable to infer. But you've seen like old ninja movies and stuff, right? With their super violent blood spraying everywhere, like the ridiculous comical blood spray.
Yes.
Well, it's supposed to be like a modern take on that. But they used CG to produce the blood in that movie, and it looks like garbage.
Yeah.
And they did it, like, on purpose, like, self-aware.
Uh-huh.
They did this thing that looks like ass. And I know it's self-aware because they freaking... They had a scene where a guy's putting ketchup on a hot dog, and the ketchup is CG, Jeremy. It's CG ketchup. But it what they were doing is they were trying to make it look as like over the top as possible with CG, and it ends up just looking like garbage.
Yeah. And
it was super disappointing. You didn't have any of the classic squibs going off or the blood spray just going psst,
right.
You know, all of it was just like CG poop just smeared all over the screen. Very sad.
Yeah.
And they're using CG for all kinds of stuff like that they shouldn't be. They just like, why can't you, dude? Like,
yeah.
There's so much stuff where like, oh man, I've seen some behind the scenes stuff where like people get in a car and drive somewhere and they CG the whole car.
Yeah.
Like it's a shot of like somebody walks out of a building and gets into a car, and then they show the behind the scenes, and it's like they're in a green screen room with nothing, and they walk up and get into nothing.
How much money does it save to CG a scene that you could literally walk out to the parking lot and do?
It saves no money. It's so expensive to do this.
Why do they do it then?
Okay, so the explanation so I've been wondering this for a while. Yeah. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. CG is expensive compared to like doing this kind of stuff practically. The kind of stuff that they're doing. There's a production photo from Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion. That's the Nick Fury show on Disney Plus.
The one that nobody likes.
Yeah. Where Nick Fury is apparently not even real for the entire all the main events of Marvel of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He was replaced by a Skrull, which is a shapeshifter.
Yes, I know. God, the whole Skrull thing, man.
So apparently Nick Fury, since Captain America Winter Soldier apparently has actually been a Skrull this whole time, and everything he's done since then is it has actually been a Skrull, and he's been trapped in some kind of Skrull prison.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Way to make me care about.
Also, you know who else is a Skrull? You know who else is a Skrull?
Captain America.
Rhodey. Rhodey's a Skrull.
Are you serious?
And Rhodey has been a Skrull since Civil War.
No way.
Which means that whenever Rhodey is there watching, as Iron Man is dying, as Tony Stark is dying, his best friend, and he's mourning the death of Tony Stark, that's a Skrull.
Wow.
Actually, Rhodey is just off some in some sleep pod somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool, right?
No, it sucks.
Oh, I love it. It's so great. But anyway, so that is not the point. The point is that there was this production photo that they did where, I swear to God, Jeremy, Samuel L. Jackson is sitting in a chair in just a regular ass room, okay? Just a room in a house, and he's got a gun in his hand. And then the behind the scenes photo is him sitting in a chair in a green screen with nothing in his hand. He's just holding his hand like this. They CG'd in the room that he was sitting in and the gun in his hand.
Fucking why?
Okay, so the reason that was explained to me of why they're doing this is because when they shoot these scenes, they don't have a completed script or production design documents. They don't know what gun is he supposed to be holding. What kind of gun is it? We haven't decided yet. Oh, what room is he in? Well, we don't really know what this room looks like yet because our production design people haven't actually come up with this scene yet. But we need to shoot it because we got a production schedule we got to follow.
Wow.
And so they're going into production on these movies and shows without a completed plan at all. They don't have completed scripts and they don't have completed plans. They have a rough outline that they're working off of. So they shoot these scenes in a green screen room, and the plan is to, once they figure out what it's actually going to be, they're going to CG in the background and the props and everything.
That's ridiculous.
And that is why, apparently, these Marvel shows are costing $300-400 million for a 6-episode show, because almost all their budget is going to paying CG artists to CG in literally everything in the show because they're not filming anything on a set.
That is retarded.
Yeah. Yeah. They canceled the Daredevil TV show because apparently they were like 6 episodes into filming. And the claim is that Kevin Feige saw what they were doing. That was cool.
All right. Oh well, nah, I got time. Okay.
Apparently, Kevin Feige saw what they were doing with the Daredevil show, and he said, "This is unacceptable. This is garbage. We gotta do this. We're canceling the whole thing." So they canceled the entire thing.
The Daredevil show? What are you talking about?
No. The new Daredevil show that they're doing.
I don't know.
They apparently Kevin Feige saw what they were working on, said, "This is shit. We can't do this. We gotta start over." So they scrapped the entire show. They filmed 6 episodes of the show. So they scrapped all 6 of those episodes. It's supposed to be like a 16 episode season, which is like by far the longest season of anything that you've seen in streaming ever. Since we've been in the streaming era, like 8 episodes is like the top, like the upper limit of how much of a season of a TV it is. So it's pretty amazing that they allotted that much to Daredevil, but I know why they did. It's because the original Netflix Daredevil show is so beloved and is considered widely to be the best Marvel TV show, period.
Yeah.
And so if they're going to make a follow-up to Daredevil, they know it can't be shit.
Right.
They know it can't be shit. Because as much as they'd love to make a shit show, they really want to, okay? They'd really love to squeeze out.
Why can't they ruin Daredevil just like they've ruined everything else?
Because Daredevil is unlike everything else that they've got that they're fucking around with these days. Daredevil has 3 solid seasons of just excellence that is highly regarded. And everybody's already souring on Marvel.
Yeah.
The mainstream the mainstream review publications and stuff are starting to sour on Marvel. They know they don't have a Shield anymore. So they've got to, like, I'm sure that they were going to be totally happy to pinch off a Daredevil turd, you know, and to completely fuck it. But I think they've realized now that they can't do it. So I don't know what my point was with the Daredevil thing. It was something related to the CG stuff, but
I don't remember. That's what we were talking about.
They said that they came out. It was an article that came out that said that it was an article about the Daredevil cancellation, and it was saying that Marvel doesn't have showrunners. So, you know, a normal TV show has a showrunner, right? The showrunner is the one who, like, basically organizes the whole thing.
Yeah.
They're not the director, because shows don't have a director. You know, episodes have directors. But the showrunner is, like, the big head honcho who directs the writer, like, tells the writers what they want, kind of keeps an outline of what's going on. Right. Marvel has not had showrunners for any of their shows. They've basically said to individual episode directors, yeah, you know, this is kind of like loosely like the kind of basic outline of what we want. Just go nuts. Make an episode. And so they have, like, you know, 5 or 6 different episode directors come in and direct different episodes, and none of them are on the same page of what's actually happening. Yeah. It's madness, Jeremy. It's insanity. Yeah. Well, apparently in this article where they scrapped Daredevil, they said, we're going to go to more of a traditional model where we have showrunners that run the show. We're retooling how we do Marvel.
And Kevin Feige was like, no way.
No, this was Feige.
This was Feige. Oh, okay.
He was like, yeah, we you know, the Marvel method seems to, you know, we've run into some issues with the Marvel method.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try a more traditional television method going forward. And so I don't know. Maybe things could get better on the TV front for Marvel, because if they actually have some sort of direction, it might not be.
They've already cooked the goose, in my opinion, man. I don't personally.
I don't disagree with you
ever about watching another Marvel IP ever. I don't care.
I was done with Marvel at Endgame.
But it didn't have to be that way. It could have been good still. It could have continued to be good.
But I was done. I mean, before they released anything else, I was done at Endgame. I knew when Endgame came out and I watched it, I was like,
that's finality.
That's it. You know, I'm done. Marvel told me a story. They took a decade, and they told me a story over the course of 20-something movies.
Yeah.
And it was epic. It was awesome. It was an amazing achievement. They did it. Endgame was kind of a stinker, the way that it closed everything out. Yeah, I was very disappointed with a lot of the ways that characters resolved. Oh, God. Captain America. What they did to Captain America as a character, just, it kills me, okay?
Yeah.
There's no fucking way that Steve Rogers would have taken the time machine and gone back and lived his life with Peggy instead of coming back and having, feeling the duty to come back and be a hero.
Right.
Like, there's no way that Captain America would have done that. And I'm not a comic fan. I've never read a single fucking page of Captain America. But I have watched these movies, and I know what Steve Rogers would have done. In the MCU, Steve Rogers would have sacrificed his own personal well-being for the good of everybody else. Yeah. It's what he does. So, Endgame really pissed me off in a lot of ways.
Because we lost both leaders of the Avengers.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think that the way that they handled Tony Stark...
Oh, that was great.
Great. Great. I think it was a fantastic...
sacrifice. And
yes.
I love the whole one, you know... Mm-hmm. This is the one shot.
Yes. That stuff was cool, but man, they assassinated Captain America, and then they totally shafted Bucky.
Yeah, he should have been the new Cap.
He should have been the new Cap, and instead they, because of diversity quotas, gave it to whatever the fuck that guy's name is, because he's such a non-hero.
But what's stupid about it is that
what is that guy's name? Falcon.
Because they went on then to have a show called Falcon and Winter Soldier. They didn't even have
and
him
here
be
and
Captain
you know what?
America.
You know what's even stupider about all this? He already is a hero. He's Falcon.
Right.
Okay,
so
he can just be Falcon.
Yeah, well, and Winter Soldier could be technically a hero.
Winter Soldier's not a hero. Winter Soldier is a bad guy. Becoming Captain America would be him becoming a hero.
Yeah.
The MCU, within the MCU. Okay, so Bucky in the comics does take the mantle of Captain America at one point.
Yeah.
It's a part of the storyline after, he fights Captain America as the Winter Soldier. He eventually becomes Captain America in the storyline. In one of the storylines. There's like a million of them. But they set it up for him in the MCU. Like, it was leading to that. Right. He was going through a redemption arc.
Yeah.
And it would have been, if you were going to hand it off, okay, which I disagree with how they handled Steve, of course. But if they were going to hand off the reins of Captain America, it had to go to Bucky.
Yeah.
So giving it to Falcon is just like, it's baffling.
Why take Cap out of the picture and then give it to somebody else?
And then they have Bucky standing in the background. And Cap hands the shield over to Falcon, and Bucky's like, I'm really happy about all this. This is great.
This is how it should be.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate the redemption you offered me.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that's all we've got for today. We'll see you next week.